guys, so today we're going to make our sugar cookies and we figured we'd bring you along.
Okay, so the first step is taking 2 sticks of butter, because you want 1 cup of butter, and make sure it's at room temperature, as well as your 2 eggs need to be at room temperature, so I've had them sitting out for a little bit. So I'm going to add my 2 sticks of butter to my bowl. With 1 cup of sugar, and I'm going to cream this together. So I've mixed my butter and my sugar until it's light and fluffy. You want to mix it on medium for about 3 minutes so it gets nice and light and fluffy like that. And then I'm going to add my 2 room temperature eggs, and I crack them in a bowl first, so in case I get any shells in it, I can get them out without them going in my food. Okay, so I've added my 2 eggs. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. And I'm going to mix this together until it's all nice and combined. So now that I have that mixed in, I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 3 cups of flour. I'm using an all-purpose flour. And then you're just going to mix this in until you get a nice smooth, dough. Alright, so now I'm just going to mix this until it's a nice soft dough. Okay, so I have my soft dough here. Everything's all combined. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cut your dough in half and put them in saran wrap. And then these are going to sit in the refrigerator for about an hour till it firms up and you can roll it out. So while our cookie dough is chilling in the refrigerator, we're going to get started on the icing. So the first step is to start out with 6 cups of powdered sugar, which I already have pre-measured in my bowl here. And I'm going to add 1/4 cup of, I use whole organic milk, but you can use 1%, 2%, you can even use water if you want. And then I'm just going to mix this together. Okay, so after you have that little bit mixed in, then you're going to add 2 teaspoons of almond extract and 1/4 cup of light corn syrup. And then you're going to mix this in, and if you need it to be a little bit thicker, you can add some more powdered sugar, and if you need it to be thinner, you can add milk, but add 1 tablespoon at a time, just until you get the right consistency. So I'm going to mix this in, and then I'll show you the results. Okay, so I've got it all combined, and this is what it looks like. This is going to be the consistency that you want if you're decorating an entire cookie. See how it's like corn syrup like this? If you're doing any detailed work on your cookie or edging, you want it to be thicker like toothpaste. So you will need to add more powdered sugar to get it to that consistency. So then to color it, I use gel food coloring, but you can use the liquid too. I guess it doesn't really matter. And then you just pick your colors, put it in your bowl, add some icing. This, because it has so much powdered sugar, even though I've used milk, you put it in an airtight container and it will be perfectly fine sitting on your counter. You don't have to refrigerate it. But some people feel better. They don't like the idea of milk sitting out on the counter, so you can use water instead of milk if you prefer. It's all up to you. And then you just mix them in and get the color that you're looking for, and you have your icing. And because it has the corn syrup in it, it will be nice and shiny. This is an excellent frosting, or icing, sorry. And you can also switch up your extract as well. You don't have to use the almond. I really like the taste of it with the cookie, but you can use, you know, butter extract or whatever kind of extract you prefer, just to kind of switch it up if you prefer that too. Alright, and that's it. And then I'll show a little bit of the kids decorating. Okay, so it's been an hour and we've taken the dough out of the refrigerator. It's nice and chilled now, and now we're going to roll it out. So go ahead and flour your surface. I have my two kids here that are going to help. Say hi.
Hi.
They wanted to do this part.
Oh my goodness.
It's a cookie dough, not a flour dough. Not like a bread dough.
I know that. Just not really working out my favor.
You need to roll it slow. There you go. Alright, how thick do you have that? Can you use... You just needed 1/4 of an inch, so you can
that's
probably
thick enough.
Yeah, so why don't you start using some shapes?
Okay.
So we don't have cookie cutters, so Malachi's going to use a glass, which you can use if you don't have cookie cutters, and then Diage's just going to freehand some shapes.
See how well this works.
You have to excuse our table. We just moved everything that's normally set on our table over to one side, so you see all the place settings.
That doesn't look like a dreidel. It looks like something else. I don't know what, but not a dreidel.
Let me see. Okay, so we're going to finish cutting our shapes out, and then we'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, so we have all of our shapes cut out for tray number 1. This makes enough cookies so you can probably have a couple trays, and we are using a really, really large tray that we only take out around this time of year. So now you're going to take your shapes and put them in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes. This is a very important step because this is going to keep your cookies from losing their shape when they bake. So these have been chilling in the refrigerator for 15 minutes, and I've preheated my oven to 350, and now these are going to bake for 8 to 10 minutes. So these have been baking for 8 minutes, and they are finished. This is what they look like, a little bit brown on the bottom. And then I'm just going to put them on my cooling rack, and they're going to cool, and once they've completely cooled, then we're going to ice them. Okay, now the kids are decorating their cookies. These are ones that I did. Beautiful.
Take the credit.
Yaja's cookies. Malachi's cookies. Alright, so we'll show you the finished product at the end. Enjoy! Happy Hanukkah!
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
The struggle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Team up.
No, just hi guys. I don't know, what do I say? Hi guys. I don't know, what do I say?
Your hands.
Seriously.